Hey, welcome back. This is That Yogi Guy, and I have a great question to share with you all today, and it's about prayer. And it goes like this: that part about the third eye being the broadcast antenna and the heart being the receiving center is amazing to me, and it made me think that during prayer or worship, you have to be in both. You thank God from the third eye, and you listen for Him, accepting your thanks in the heart. What do you think about this? And if you agree, how would I accomplish this most effectively? Well, that's it. That's fantastic. Great question, by the way. Yes, that's the ticket. And this principle of listening is a really deep principle. Because the thing that we need to understand is that this process of asking for what we want and getting a response from our higher selves is constantly taking place, all the time. So whenever we ask for something, there's always a response. And it's almost instantaneous. And so if we're receptive, if we listen for that response, we can begin to understand what our asking is accomplishing. And if it's not accomplishing what we want, then we need to change how we do it. So that's the truth of the matter. We don't even have to pray. Everything that we think everything that we think and do is a request for more of that, whatever it is that we're concentrating on. So if you concentrate on what you don't want, oh, woe is me, oh, I'm having a terrible day, I just hate that, I hate that, I hate that, I hate that, I hate that. And what are you doing? You're concentrating on it, right? It's like you go down the highway, and every light that you hit is a red light. And every time you sit there at the red light, you go, oh my God, I hate this red light, I hate this red light, I hate this red light. And what are you concentrating on? You're concentrating on red lights. So you'll probably find that you'll run into more of them, because the universe responds in kind. It responds in kind. It thinks you're asking for that. Well, he's concentrated on this so hard. He's putting so much energy into this thought about this thing. He must really want it, because he's concentrating on it so hard. So if you concentrate on what you don't want all the time, that's what you attract. That's what you get. That's what you're asking for. So don't ask for that. In prayer, we're applying these forces more consciously, of course. And prayer after meditation is the most effective, because we're clearing the channel first. Instead of our minds being constantly cluttered with not only the things that we don't want, but 1,000 things all at once. Instead of being cluttered like that, we clear some of that away. And so our thoughts become more powerful. Our hearts can really get behind a thought, right, when we pray. Because we're a little more clear. There's a little more space in our minds where we can use our concentration to concentrate on what we really want. So here's a little process, right? Here's a little step-by-step process. So with this in mind, prayer, you could think of prayer as a 3-step process. Number 1, clear away the clutter. Number 2, bring some energy. And number 3, listen and celebrate. So Yogananda gave us a quote. I have a quote here from Yogananda. He said, "Whatever you believe powerfully will instantly come to pass." It's a great quote, right? It's also a formula. Whatever you believe powerfully will instantly come to pass. So you can't believe something powerfully if your mind is a whirlwind, because you're thinking on and giving energy to and concentrating on 1,000 different things. You're just a blur. And I know, because I've been there. I do it. And it's okay. It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's just, that's not going to be an effective prayer. So the first process is to clean up our lives a little bit. And that's the power of yama and niyama, right? The first 2 steps. That's what they're designed to do. They're designed to help us clean up our lives a little bit so that there's less clutter in our lives, and more importantly, less emotional clutter. Because it's not only the thoughts, it's the emotions behind them, the worry, the care, the guilt, all these things get in the way of prayer. Sri Yukteswar tells us in the Holy Science, the purpose of Yama Niyama is to free the heart from the 8 meannesses, right? So you can learn the 8 meannesses, but really it's to free the heart. We don't want any junk in there. We want it to be free. We want it to be open and clear and happy, right? We need the right attitude. And these are all the forces that come into play in meditation. And once we've done our meditation and we feel a little more clear, now we're in the right space to pray. Now, meditation isn't just for praying, right? Meditation was really about getting to that quiet place. That's what it was really about. But now we're done. We enjoyed the quiet place, and now we're ready to pray. Well, this is a good time for it. And we need to bring some energy. Now, because you're a little more clear, you're going to be more concentrated, so that's going to bring more energy to the process. But we can also re-engage our hearts. Engage your heart and put your desire behind what you want, what you're asking for. Make it burn, make it real to you. When you ask for what you want, imagine it as if you already have it. You got to believe. If part of you is going, oh, I want this thing, I want this thing, and another part of you is, oh, I'll never have it. Well, that's not an effective prayer, because you're not believing powerfully, are you? You're divided. You're a house divided. So you can't do that. You have to be one house, right? You have to be one powerful belief. So you have to watch out for that inside of yourself. Don't ask for something that you don't think you can't have. You have to get over that. Maybe you have to ask for it in steps. Well, I'd like this and this and this, and that'll lead to this bigger thing maybe. Maybe that's what you need to do. Whatever it is, just remember you can't be divided. You have to believe it wholeheartedly. 100%. I can totally have this. It's coming right around the corner. But don't expect it, Be so trusting that you believe it's going to come. Because if you doubt it, that's the wrong attitude. You're setting yourself up for failure, right? You're a house divided again. You can't do that. So you got to believe powerfully. And then once you've sent out that energy through the broadcast center of the spiritual eye, engaging your heart, putting your heart behind that, then you can relax and listen. And when you listen and you feel a little bit of a response in your heart, then celebrate. Celebrate a little bit, rejoice inside of yourself. So those are some important principles there. Clearing away the clutter, bringing energy, listening, and celebrating. Now, why celebrate? Because, well, if you believe it powerfully, you're going to get excited, aren't you? I do. And that's part of the magic, that you really believe it. And there's something else, too. Occasionally, I have prayed for things in my life, and then when they didn't come, I got upset. I got angry. And I screamed and yelled and hollered in my prayer, right? And then I let it go. And then magically it would appear. What I prayed for would come. And I think there are two things there. One is that I brought energy, right? The anger gave me energy. And number two, I really believed that it was going to show up. And when it didn't, I got a little miffed. So that's okay too. That's okay too, because you're still applying the principle. You're applying the principle of energy, and you're applying the principle of believing powerfully, which are kind of one and the same thing within the 3 steps that I just outlined. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that gives you some ideas on prayer. and how to make your own prayer more effective. There's something else that Christ said. Before you pray at the altar, go and reconcile yourself with your brother. Well, that's clearing the clutter, isn't it? So I just want to point that out. That's another principle. That's part of clearing the clutter. So there you go. Give that a whirl, and please send me some more questions. Take care, everyone. God bless.